Okay, so if you run an AI infrastructure agency where you build out like AI bots or you do any sort of AI, voice AI, bot text AI, content AI, whatever the fuck you sell, I want to run you through why you're probably not going to be able to break past 20K a month, or you're already hitting a constraint there right now, or you're just struggling in general to get consistency in how much money that you can make. Maybe one month that you blew up, you did like 20K, the next month you did 5K. There's a lack of consistency, right? I want to run you through why that is, how to solve it, and I'll give you everything you need in terms of the links, the resources, the documents, etc., etc. So just to give you a rundown of who am I and why you should listen to me. I run an agency doing $3 million a year selling marketing and AI infrastructure to medical clinics. I went from 0 to now in the last 3 years, and I'm helping people do the same. And I've already took multiple people to 7 figures a year. Just type in Cameron England testimonials for reference. You can take a look at it. Now, I make these videos for 3 reasons. Number 1 is status. I have the natural human desire to feel important, as everybody does, and providing value helps me do that. It fills a void in my life. Number 2 is to make more money. I know that if you consume my content and you get value from it, the more likely you're going to buy my program. So our incentives are aligned, okay? I want to provide as much value for you as possible. And number 3 is connections. I want to connect with cool people doing cool shit and do cool things with them, okay? So that being said, one of the biggest problems or flaws that I see in the AI agency model is it's kind of built on a fundamentally flawed model. You're selling a one-time infrastructure project, a custom GPT, an N8N agent, whatever the hell it is, that doesn't create recurring value and it doesn't create a sticky client relationship. And as we know, AI has taken over the entire fucking internet. Everybody wants to start an AI agency and it's new and sexy now. But the problem with that is because it's very new, people are problem aware, meaning they know that they may need AI to help their business, but they're not fully solution aware. They can't yet pinpoint exactly at how AI can help them. You think about SMMA, it's already gone through all of the levels of sophistication, right? People are problem aware. They know, oh, I need more clients. Solution aware, oh, I can run Facebook ads on Meta. But that sophistication is advanced even more so because they know, oh, I can have a call center. Oh, they can run my ads and they can do specific geo-targeting and all of this bullshit, right? The good thing is because people are problem aware and not fully solution aware and they don't know how to use it, is people are still paying premium prices as if humans were doing it for services that AI can do now. And this is because the market hasn't fully caught up to the fact that AI is automating a lot of this stuff. You think about website creation, for example, you can literally just do it in Go High Level now. And there's this big opportunity in the market right now for people who do know how to use AI to make a lot of money, because there's people here on this side of the spectrum who don't know anything about AI that are still paying as if humans were doing the work and the labor when it's actually AI. And you can still make a lot of money. And then as the market sophisticates and people understand how AI is working and what the functionalities are, what's going to happen is that gap is going to close and people are going to start charging less as a byproduct of the market sophisticating, simply because people are then going to know that AI is doing the job and it's not humans, okay? Now, the reason this is important is because you make more money when you add more value, and value is created when pain is alleviated. And the formula is simple. You find a painful problem that people share in common, which is a niche. You solve that problem and then you charge based on the value of your solution, not your time. And that is essentially what you're doing with AI infrastructure. Now, one key thing here though, and this is the reason that I say the typical like AI infrastructure model is pretty flawed, is we want to solve problems that require a recurring model or allow us to solve one problem and then solve the next problem that happens when that problem is solved, okay? I'll give you an example of that. Not having a website is painful because people don't see your business. You lose money by not having online visibility. But somebody builds that website and yeah, they may need a little bit of management. You could upsell them on SEO, but for the most part, the job is done. The problem is solved. So could you upsell them on other services and potentially get them on like a low ticket retainer, $100, $200, $300 a month? You absolutely can, but the chance of you getting them on a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 retainer, which is what you need to get to $100K a month sustainably. I'm not talking about you getting there 1 month from charging $20K for an AI build out. I'm talking about getting there in MRR, recurring revenue. So you're not stuck on this hamster wheel of having to resell things every single month. You can't do it with building out websites realistically. And is there people that have done it? Absolutely. And there's ways around it. But the point is, it's got significantly lower leverage than if you went in a fulfillment model that you could charge on a recurring basis for a high ticket retainer. Okay. Therefore, we must find a problem that is constantly a problem and that people will never have fully solved. An example of that would be people don't have enough leads. You solve that problem, but all it takes is their ad account to go down, a bad season to come around, their ads to fatigue, and that pain comes back up and they no longer have enough lead flow. And this is the type of problem that we want to solve because it is a recurring problem that people will continue to pay us for. And this is why SMMA was so popular. But with AI coming, I believe that now you need to mesh the two models together to make sure that you can get the happy medium of the AI, which is like this new sexy opportunity that people are paying a lot for because there's this huge learning curve in the market where people are going to pay a premium for things that they didn't realize are so easy to build. And you've got the SMMA model, which people are moving away from, but being able to solve a recurring problem like SMMA allows is a huge opportunity as well. So you want to combine the two. And the reason this is important is because it's kind of like the difference between selling somebody a fishing rod, which is like a one-time purchase. You go like, hey, I'm going to build you this content AI. I'm going to teach you how to use it. Then it's done. right? Versus you being their personal fisherman who delivers fresh fish every week, which is a recurring service. The latter is much more valuable for building a sustainable business if obviously you can crack the fulfillment of getting a shit ton of fish, whether that be leads, whether you cracking the fulfillment on building out their content, whatever that looks like. And you would have heard of that quote: give a man to fish and you feed him for a day, teach him how to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. And in our terms, what makes us as remote or online business owners the most money in the AI space is we want to be the one providing the fish to the people who have no clue how to fish. This is why people sell like AI infrastructure to fucking roofers, solar people, remodelers. B2B SaaS companies have never even considered looking into AI because when they're hungry, they're going to pay us to solve that problem. Okay. And again, it doesn't matter what, and this is like a common misconception that I see with like AI. People think people are buying AI a lot of the time. And like, could you argue more sophisticated people are? Like for me, I'm problem aware, but I'm also solution aware. I understand how AI can help my business and the solutions I need to put in place. So when I hire developers on my team, AI developers, which we've got 3 or 4 of them on our team right now, I know what I'm looking for. Number one, in terms of solutions. So I already have the project mapped out and I'm just simply going, hey, here's what I'm going to pay you for this project. Go and complete it, right? But the reality is most businesses that are not solution aware, they're not buying AI. They're buying the outcome, meaning how much money you're going to make them in comparison to the amount they spend. If you're running like an ROI driven offer, they fall under these 3 buckets. You got health, wealth, and relationships. Now, for people selling AI, you're going to be under the wealth bucket, right? And the problem with one of the common reasons why I see people can't scale past 20K a month with an AI agency is the outcome they're trying to sell is not tangible. They can go, hey, we're going to build you a content AI, but when somebody goes, okay, so what should I expect from that? 2x, a 2x in view count, a 2x in lead flow from people coming through our funnel on our organic content. You can't really quantify in tangible figures how that AI infrastructure is actually going to help them, okay? And another problem with that is once it's built, you're back on the hamster wheel of signing new clients. Now, you could argue that running like a traditional agency where you run ads and things like that is similar, but that's why we want to use AI to make the ad model stickier while not being fully reliant on AI to run our entire business because it's more of a one and done service. And every single month you're stuck in a hamster wheel of having to sign new people on one-off projects. Okay. You want to think of it like this, right? If you only build a car for somebody, which is kind of like AI infrastructure, they'll only really need you once unless you have upsells, which we're going to get into in a minute. But if you're the driver who takes them where they want to go every day, which is essentially you giving the fish to the person who doesn't know how to fish, which is where you combine SMMA and AI and you create what we call the middleman model, they're going to need you indefinitely. Okay. So that being said, what are the core reasons that AI agencies get stuck below 20K a month? There's 3 main reasons, and I'm going to run you through the solutions to each of them. The first one is they only offer one-time build-outs. They go to businesses, let's say they niche down and they go to remodelers and they go, hey, I'm going to help you build out like an AI nurture bot that's going to follow up with your leads. Now, this can work, but you need a way of squeezing the juice out of your client lifetime value. If you don't know what the term lifetime value means, it essentially means how much does the average client pay you over the lifespan of them being with you until they eventually churn or they no longer pay you any money, okay? Now, you can increase this in one of 2 ways: by solving future problems that they will face when you solve problem number 1, or adding a recurring solution to a recurring problem into your fulfillment system. And the reason this is important is if you've heard of the problem solution cycle, as an example, whenever you solve a problem for somebody, there is going to then be another problem that arises. If I just pull up an example of this, here's the image I was looking for. So basically the way that the world works is when you solve a problem for somebody, there is a solution created. And then when you solve the existing problem, a new problem is going to come up. And this chain goes on infinitely. Everybody in life has problems, and that is simply because of the problem solution cycle, which is never ending, okay? So option number 1, to increase your LTVs, you solve future problems. Now, to do this, you need to map out what we call your client journey so you can get crystal clear on what problems your clients will face after you solve their first problem. An example of this on like a very basic level is you're at a restaurant, right? And the problem is you're bored while you wait for your food at the restaurant after you've ordered. The solution is they give you free nuts or pretzels or popcorn while you wait. Now, because that food is salty and that is intentional by design, the restaurants do this on purpose. The problem is your mouth then gets dry and you get thirsty. The solution is you buy a drink. The restaurant then upsells you and suggests a cocktail, a soda, or something fucking premium that's going to cost you a lot of money, right? The future problem that then also comes as a byproduct of you eating the pretzels and the nuts or anything salty is the salt actually spikes your appetite. You can look this up, it's true. And the solution is you end up ordering more food or a dessert than you actually planned. And the end outcome is simply by giving you nuts and pretzels that they probably lose money on the front end, on the back end in lifetime value over the span of you staying there for 3-4 hours, ordering a shit ton of food, ordering all these drinks, they have increased your average order value, all triggered from a free snack that you thought was out of a kind-willed gesture when it's not, okay? They do it intentionally because they know you're going to spend more money if you eat the nuts and the pretzels. Now, just to give you an example of how this works in, say, an AI agency, let's say the problem that you originally solve and you're trying to sell is a lot of content creators are manually making all their YouTube videos and they never perform. Now, a solution to that is you build them an AI content agent that scans their competitors' channels and scripts their content for them, and they save time and get more views. You might want to do this using NA10, Poppy AI. There's so many different ways you can do it. And the cool thing about fucking NA10, which a lot of AI agencies will already know, is the reality is most people are selling fucking templates. Like if I go to NAN templates, like what most people are doing, if you didn't know this already, which if you're at 20K a month, I figured you probably do. Like what people are doing is they're finding templates on NAN like, oh, okay, automate competitor research, analyze competitor Facebook ads. And they're literally coming here, they're buying this $25 template, and then they will sell it for thousands of dollars because people buy the implementation and people have no idea what or how to do this. And that is because, again, tying back to the learning curve gap in the market where people know they need AI, but they don't know how to use it. They don't know how to implement it. They don't have the time to learn it. So they will pay people to solve this problem by using these templates that people had no idea are even a thing. Okay, so an example of this with an AI agency, you build them a content agent that scripts their content and saves them time and they get more views. The future problem is people are opting in through their funnel, through their YouTube or organic content organically, but nobody is being followed up with because they have no nurture sequence. The solution to that is you then build them an AI lead nurture bot that nurtures their leads and qualifies them. Now, once you build them a AI lead nurture bot that's going to qualify all the leads coming from organic content, the problem then is they're getting too many calls from the people that they weren't following up with. And the problem is they don't have enough closers. They don't have enough people to sell. And then your solution could be completely out of the box of AI, and you could even then help them place, train, and manage a closer. And the end outcome is way more sales, more money, and a bigger team. And this is where I think AI agencies think way too narrow. They think, oh, because we're an AI infrastructure agency, we can only sell AI. Bro, that's what you want to do. That's what you can do if you want to get to 10, 20K a month. But realistically, you need to solve a chain of problems for your client, and you need to get crystal clear on what the client journey looks like. So you know, okay, I'm going to solve this problem, then this solution comes up, then this problem comes up, then this solution comes up. So you can solve problems in congruency with your client journey. And that is how you really squeeze the juice out of your client lifetime value. And to give you an example of the way that you want to map this out so you have clarity on what your client journey looks like is within my agency, we have client milestones. And you might want to do this at each key activation point or milestone with your client. So milestone 1 with the organic content agent is you build out the agent. Milestone 2 is they use it and get a bunch of views on their new video. And then when they're there, they're going to start getting more lead flow. And then you might want to plant the seed for the new solution, which is implementing an AI nurture bot. Okay. And you can see here that we map everything out from onboarding, launch. For us, one of the first key milestones is they get their first booking. And here, what we want to do is they've smashed it out of the park. That's like green for us, meaning like, okay, they hit the milestone with flying colors. Then what we're going to do at this point is they're going to start getting bookings. Then the new problem is going to be, I don't know how to sell. So the solution is we then upsell them on our back-end program, which teaches them sales, retention, et cetera, when they start getting bookings and they realize that they can't close. Okay. So that is a prime example of how you need to solve problems in congruency with your client journey. And that is how you solve bottleneck number 1 by increasing LTV. Now, another way of doing this, which they kind of tie in together, but I wanted to separate them, is solving an existing client recurring problem. Your clients don't actually care about your fulfillment method. They care about the outcome. And what I mean by that is nobody really wakes up in the morning going, man, I really need some AI in my business today. What they wake up thinking is, I need more clients. My content creation system is slow. They talk about the problem and they want the outcome to solve that problem, okay? So just by simply solving a recurring problem and bolting that onto your existing AI fulfillment, you then turn your services into a recurring model. An example of this would be the following, right? Let's say right now you sell clients on an AI content engine that scans their competitors and scripts their content for them. They then start getting sales, but they want to get more fuel on the fire, and you notice they're not running any paid ads. So you pitch them running their ads for them. You then build out an AI bot that nurtures their leads from both channels. You build out and manage their CRM on Go High Level, and then you train and coach their team on lead management and sales. That would then be you, again, solving problems in congruency with the client journey. But notice here how, because we're now running ads for our clients, not only do we have more tangibility around what we sell, because then we can say, okay, we should expect a $500 cost per acquisition. I can guarantee you 15 new clients in the next 30 days. People like tangibility and certainty in the things that you sell them, okay? And again, people don't buy AI unless they're highly sophisticated. They buy the outcome of what AI brings them. So I encourage you, if you're just selling AI infrastructure, to think a little bit broader and figure out ways that either you can solve problems in congruency with your client journey, or you can add into your fulfillment system a solution to an existing recurring problem, such as, I don't have enough leads. My content takes too long to record. Could you consider adding UGC creators into your fulfillment system that records the content and the ads for them, as a prime example? Okay, so constraint number 2 as to why you wouldn't be able to scale past 20K a month in an AI agency is you're stuck in what we call stage 2 of the agency, which is it's a delegation dilemma. The founder of the agency, you, is a wizard at AI, but you're at your limit and you have hit a bandwidth issue. You know, in order to scale, you need other people to do what you do because you are the constraint in the business at this stage. And you're basically a glorified freelancer at this stage, chugging 500 milligrams of caffeine a day to hit client deadlines. And you are your client's bitch, okay? Whether you like it or not, you might say you run an agency. If you're at this stage and you're the only one on your team and maybe you've got 1 or 2 VAs, you are a glorified freelancer, okay? Now, in this phase, you've proven and validated that your business model works, but you're becoming the bottleneck, and you simply can't take on more clients without either working more hours or delegating work to others. And chances are one of the biggest limiting beliefs that I see people fall into in this stage, especially in the AI space, is they're like, nobody can build AI as good as me. It's impossible to find somebody that's going to care as much as I am. I can tell you I thought the exact same things in my agency until I actually delegated it, and it's not true, okay? So this is where you need to start doing one or two things. Either you can stay where you're at and be comfortable with a 90% profit margin, or if you want to get to 100, 200, 300K a month, you need to start hiring and delegating so you can buy back your time. Don't believe this common belief where it's like, oh, AI is like means I don't need to hire any team members. AI aids your team members and makes your team more efficient. It makes them leaner, but you are going to need a team of AI developers, whether you like it or not, if you want to scale your agency, okay? So at this stage, you really want to hire an AI developer who can start executing the projects you usually complete. So what I'd recommend you do is you put together an application form exactly like this. This is the exact one that we use in our agency to get AI developers on our team. We go ahead and get them to apply. We get their experience on tools such as Lovable, Dev, NAN, other platforms. We get their experience on all the AI tools that we use internally. I get them to describe their experience with the following skills. And then finally, I get them to record a Loom video breaking down systems that they've gone ahead and built or infrastructure in the past to determine if they're worth me hiring, okay? Now, I put this in one of two different places. Number one, you can run ads because there is an abundance right now. There is more supply than there is demand for people that are providing and servicing AI, and barely any of them make money, okay? So it's very easy for you to kind of scoop those people up, sell them on the vision of your company, and get them in and start paying them 1, 2, 3, 4K a month, and then you can gradually increase their pay as they get better and better and they take on more responsibility. Another thing that I found worked really well with hiring people for AI is you can actually post your job application form in communities that have a lot of AI people. So for example, I built this community. I'm in like every AI community. So for example, this one called Maker School, right? It's like $174 a month. I think it's one of the most expensive low ticket communities. And what I did is I simply just put up a job post saying I'm hiring an AI developer, and I got like 50 applications in the span of 24 hours. Okay, I can't find the application, but you get the point. Because you want to go where all of the people are that you're looking to find. And it's the same with your clients. It's the same with AI. It's the same with AI developers, right? And then once you've hired that person, you follow the 3D process. You demonstrate what you want them to do by giving them a Google Doc with an SOP, basically showing them, here's what you need to do, here, 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 here. You can teach them the principles behind what you do with AI infrastructure. You can give them the templates. Cool thing about NAN is you can literally just export the JSON files and import them back in, and you can give them templates and you can give them an SOP on how to set up the template, okay? If you're selling like a standardized AI infrastructure agent that, let's say, for example, builds out content, you can export the JSON file, make an SOP on setting up the template, and then boom, you've already done it. Second piece is duplicates. What you're going to do is you're going to go, okay, you now know how to do this. I've showed you how to do it on a document and on a Loom video as an example. Now I want you to complete this and build this AI agent out twice. And then what you're going to do as the founder is you're going to go in and audit what they did 2 to 3 times. Once they've done it, you're then going to hand that responsibility over to them. And this is where we then delegate. We now go, John, this is completely your responsibility. All I need you to do is I need you to do this every single time that we onboard a new client. A task will go on our project management tool, and then boom, problem solved. Okay. Now at this stage, you might not even need another AI developer on your team. You might just need what we call a black hat VA who can handle low leverage shit for you. Anything that is pulling you away from signing more clients or increasing client LTV is low leverage. So what I would recommend you do is go to my channel, type in how to delegate to a $3 an hour VA. I made a video on this and it basically solves this problem. Okay. So tell a lie, there was actually 2 more constraints. I thought there was just 3. There's actually 4. So constraint number 3 is the agency is struggling to sell something that's intangible. Now, the problem I see with just selling AI infrastructure alone is that people are problem aware, as I mentioned earlier, but meaning they know they need AI in their business, but they're not fully solution aware, and they can't yet pinpoint exactly how AI can help them. And more often than not, you can't tie it to a specific number. You can't say, oh, this content AI is going to 2x your sales volume. I had this problem when I first started my business about 4 or 5 years ago when I was just doing copywriting, and I was really struggling to sell it simply because I couldn't provide any tangible outcome. I couldn't say, oh, guaranteed this copywriting is going to bring you 15 new clients next month, because it's an intangible service, right? And again, people buy outcomes, not vehicles. So the solution here is the same as the first solution that I mentioned, which is where you bolt on inside of your fulfillment system something that can provide a tangible outcome like ads or a full stack acquisition or retention system that leverages AI to reduce overhead. Okay. Now, the final constraint that would stop you from getting past 20K a month up to 100K a month is you don't have a predictable and scalable acquisition channel. I've seen a lot of AI infrastructure agencies fucking around on Upwork, relying on school communities for projects, posting organic content. That can all work too, but you need a predictable and scalable acquisition channel that you know, guaranteed, you can put $1 in and get $5 out. Outbound is scalable, but it's slow. It's kind of like walking. The way that I see it is paid ads is like the car. It's going to make you go significantly faster. What I would do if I was running an AI agency is I would double down on organic content exactly like I am now. I would provide a shit ton of value. And that's like the cherry on top of the cake. But the fuel on the fire, the real foundation is going to be running paid ads. And then the people that see your paid ads that aren't 100% ready to buy yet, you funnel them to the organic content. They see you're providing value. And it typically takes, I think there was a statistic that said like 7 hours of content consumption until somebody fully trusts you and they're going to buy your product. So prime example, you get them through the paid ads, the people that want to buy right away, that have a problem, know that you have the solution, will go and buy from you. And then the people that don't will go to your organic content. They will consume 7, 8, 9 hours of content if you provide tangible value. And then eventually you're going to funnel all those organic people into a call to action funnel in your description. And then they will eventually buy from you. Okay. So they are the 4 biggest constraints that I see stopping most AI agencies scaling past 20K a month. And if you want my help getting past 20K a month, all the way up to 100, 200, 300K a month like I have, check the link below. I help AI agencies and marketing agencies do the exact same thing that I have. Peace.